One of the things that I think that we have to all think about today when we begin to look for and to try to attract the best talent is that we have to think about what is the evolution of looking for and advertising yourself as an individual to acquire jobs, and then what is it that businesses have to do to, let's say, get with it so that we can also keep up with the strategies that are being used by those who are out here in the workforce. Automation, re-engineering the organization, outsourcing, offshoring, work, freelancing, allocating work online, and crowdsourcing are all strategies that companies are using. And still yet, employers have not left and are still hiring and are still depending upon full-time workers. Despite the recent prolonged period of high unemployment, companies still see a limited supply and a rising demand for the talent they need. And they can expect that this war of talent will last for some time. Talent shortage is combined with the new attitude among the most in-demand sectors of the workforce. In a nationwide survey called the Job Seeker Nation 2010, the results make it clear that workers have been conditioned by a long recession, and they really don't believe in job security any longer. Now they feel they need to be prepared at all times to find a new job. We're rapidly evolving into a nation of free agents where players jump from team to team within shorter periods of time. In fact, 53% of all working Americans, and that represents about 63.5 million people, aren't actively looking but are always open to a new job. These are not passive job seekers. They're active in networking and positioning themselves for advancement. They are proactively laying groundwork for their next professional opportunity before they have to look. Proactive career managers, which is what I call them, are younger, more educated, earn higher salaries than other segments of the workforce. They are more active in social networks. More than 1/3 use Twitter and/or LinkedIn, and have more of a social network when it comes to contacts than other groups. They are more likely to be found and to have found their last job through a referral or social network. Now, attracting and retaining the best employees is very crucial to the strength and overall success of your business. You want to make sure that you put the right people in place to prevent high turnover and too many dissatisfied employees. Now, there is really something that impacts upon your bottom line to this strategy. And that, quite frankly, is because it costs more to hire and to lose an employee and to have to then hire a new and train another one. Here are a few valuable steps I've identified in putting the right individuals in place and thus retaining them. Now, all of you are probably familiar with them. However, I really believe that a thoughtful process when it comes to hiring can be most helpful. Human resources should select the best job candidates. And I know that we all think that, okay, I know what I want, I know what I need, but I do think that we have to respect those who are trained in the field of human resources. And for the most part, they are the catalyst, I think, when it comes to developing a strategic selection process. HR recruiters, of course, should select and hire only those candidates who meet the selection criteria. Now, that's going to include adequate testing, background checks, and reference checks, and it will also help to determine who are the most talented candidates that are the right fit for the job. The second is to offer an attractive rewards program. Now, we all know it's not easy to find talented employees to fit your company's needs. However, when you do find them, you should make every attempt to keep them. During the initial interview process, HR should hold up the company's products, its missions, its values, and goals, and depict a positive image of the company, regardless of what questions the interviewee might ask. This is also an opportunity to promote the rewards package as well. Simply put, HR must offer the most competitive awards package if you want to attract the best job candidates and keep them on board once they have been hired. You need to foster a positive work environment. This includes supporting work-life balance and encouraging job sharing. You should also recognize and celebrate employees' accomplishments, and in turn, you will boost not only that employee's morale, but believe it or not, those others who happen to work for the company as well. Promote employee engagement. Engage your employees and make them feel that they are a vital part of the business. And many times I think that when you begin to look at the different levels of staff that operate within an organization, I think there becomes a confusion about what information should be shared with employees and what information should not be shared with the line employees. But I think one of the best ways to get the employees and all of the staff committed is at least to let them know those things that really will impact upon the bottom line of a company. You should recognize and reward your top performers. You should recognize your employees when they meet and exceed job expectations. Celebrate their accomplishments by rewarding them with some really nice perks and a luncheon celebration, because that encourages other people to want to also to attain that recognition so that they can stand out as well. And lastly, a very important strategy, I think, is to think about promoting from within. Lastly, I think that another way that you can allow your top performers the opportunity to apply for new and upcoming job promotions when the need arises, rather than search for external candidates. Building capabilities which get used on the job make an impact on organization results. It will also help the work assignments when the work assignments are challenging and meaningful. You should also provide sufficient training for those employees who desire it, especially if it will increase productivity. Now that job seeking is a constant activity among high-skilled workers, you as an employer need to generate a similarly proactive attitude toward recruiting for your company. You should always be recruiting. And in practice, it means investing less in the short-term fixes, one-off searches, and more in long-term assets and your own pipeline of talent. If you approach hiring the same way that you did 2 to 10 years ago, your company is going to lose the battle. Like today's workers, you must be always looking for the next job opportunity. You must also be looking for the next pipeline and the next talented staff person for your company. You can't just post the jobs on the internet and hope that people are going to apply. The good news is that the internet has made identifying and finding people easier than before. However, it is also just as easy for your competitors. And in concluding, I would like to give you some thoughts on winning this talent war. A few of them include companies have to build relationships with a large number of people, networking much the same way as those career managers do out there. Target the sectors of talent you need in the same way marketers know they must target prospects. Then stay in touch until the time is right to hire. Set the tone of hiring from the top. The most successful company talent networks are headed by executives who make it a priority to recruit their companies and motivate others to do the same. And finally, just as it's usually cheaper to keep a customer than it is to acquire a new one, it's most cost-effective to retain good employees than search for new ones. Companies have to keep recruiting their own employees, because if you don't recruit and continue to recruit those that you have that are talented on your staff, believe me, someone else will. The real key to winning, engaging your prospects and your current employees is to really keep them aware of the mission, the culture, and give them a sense of ownership. The talented competition of talent is a battle for hearts and minds as well. And in the end, you will have the competitive advantage. You can do it faster, you can do it better, you can do more, you can do what others can't, you can do it cheaper, and you're able to do it first. I have listed some resources for you that you might want to consider when you're looking for talent and keeping it. And of course, Dr. Webb had mentioned that they have a website that I really would like to point out since she's here today, and it's called dcnetworks.org. We use it. It also includes not only a local database, but also nationally.